Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Jacob McClellan. There's no substitute for being prepared in the event of an emergency. Our next guest is in charge of making sure Cape Girardeau's emergency responders are trained and well equipped and know what to do in case of fire, natural disaster, or an emergency on the river. Mark Hasheider is Cape Girardeau's Assistant Fire Chief and Emergency Management Coordinator. Mark, thank you so much for dropping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
First, let's start off with sirens. As I understand it, more sirens are being installed in Cape Girardeau. Is that correct?
That's correct. Really excited about that. We've had 4 sirens for a number of years, and we just recently were able to obtain another 5 sirens that we'll be placing throughout the city within the next few months.
And where will these new sirens be placed at?
Well, our first sirens that we did have, we put them in the parks where people would be outside, and these are outdoor warning sirens. So those are the most logical locations where people wouldn't be in tune with the weather situation. So we've covered our park areas, and now what we're doing is we're going back and trying to cover some more of our heavily denselated areas. Those locations would be Cape Rock and Country Club, north of the Red Star area in that location. We're also going to be covering the Mount Auburn Road, Lexington, where they're putting that new roundabout will be going in. In that general area, we'll be putting a siren. We're also going to be putting another one down the downtown area, Sprague and Independence, close to the fire department and the police department. And then the other siren would be going out there at West Park Mall, our business district. We felt really there was a need there because, again, just like the parks, we have people that are coming into our city, are in and out of stores, may not be, again, in tune to the weather, and would be able to give them some additional warning time to seek shelter. So we're putting one there. And then potentially is Central High School in that location. So 5 new sirens, the 4 we have. I think we're going to get some good coverage. We still need a few more, so if anybody out there would like to call and request on how to donate or how to adopt a siren, we'll be happy to talk with them.
Now, what's the difference between a mechanical and an electronic siren? I know here at Southeast Missouri State University we have an electronic one.
Yes.
Will these be electronic sirens or mechanical sirens throughout the rest of town?
So far right now we are using the mechanical sirens. We're just simply is a tone. We're not able to give any type of verbal instructions other than just simply one loud tone. Now, it does have some benefits as well as a little bit of a negative. Would be is one is that mechanical siren can really reach out. Really, it's supposed to 1.5 miles from the location of the siren. You would kind of compare it to, let's say, a police officer's siren. You'd be able to hear about a block away. As they come closer and closer, that's how you should be able to hear that siren 1.5 miles away. So mechanical siren can really get out there and reach out and let people know what's going on. Electronic siren, a little bit less coverage area, but there we can go ahead and start giving some verbal instructions. And here in the university, they do give verbal instructions over their electronic sirens.
Now, are these sirens, are these intended to be heard inside buildings, inside the home, or are these mainly for folks that are outside?
Mainly for folks outside. However, you know, the closer you are to the siren, you will get in building coverage.
Let's talk a little bit about technical rescue capabilities that we have here in Cape Girardeau. In particular, in the river, because river rescues are something that you need some serious training and equipment for. What capabilities does the city have for these?
Well, the city does have, probably on the river specifically, we do have a boat. We got a 24-foot Boston whaler that we do patrol when needed. We do respond on the river, and we do have that capability to get out and rescue somebody on the river in almost all sorts of weather conditions, whether it be fog or night. It has a lot of capability itself. You mentioned the technical aspect of it. We do have a technical rescue team. Everybody realizes that we do have extrication on a normal basis with our firefighters. However, there's always those situations in which there is a little bit more of a severe or more of a technical rescue. And there we have a 15-person team that we're able to respond to those type of situations.
Give us some examples of what some of these situations
Well, it could be a high-angle rescue. In other words, somebody climbing up a tower, a worker has problems. You know, somebody would have to go up to rescue and bring them back down. Same would be a low-angle or a confined space, industrial-type rescue, where we would need to go ahead and go into an enclosed area and rescue somebody. And then, of course, we have the structure collapse, building collapses, that we're able to penetrate buildings with a lot of our equipment. And some of our equipment is really kind of unique. For instance, we have a chainsaw that's capable of cutting through concrete. You know, just like you would have a, you know, a normal chainsaw cutting wood, we can cut through concrete. I also had some items I was hoping to show you today would be some cameras. Similar to what you saw up in the Boston area, where they're able to visualize during the nighttime. And we do have that capability. Not quite that sophisticated, but we do have them. I think they're bringing one of them on here right now.
Great.
It's definitely a thermal imaging camera. Thank you. I'll let you hold on to that one there.
Okay, sure.
And basically what these two would be is, one is a thermal imaging camera. This one in particular is that you'll see a lot of times fire departments will use it inside of buildings. This one is specifically so that we can see outside large areas. It has a range for approximately a half a mile. So for instance, if we had somebody lost in the woods, we're trying to do some screening, it's night, poor visibility, we can literally use this camera to show a large area, and what we'll see is we'll see that body heat being given off. Similar again to what you saw in the Boston with the boat. So, you know, again, very sophisticated camera used by our technical rescue team. The next camera that we have is just simply it's simply similar to what you're using today, except in a smaller, more compact, and what you have in your hand would be the lenses. It'd be this little flexibility that we're able to put in under a building collapse for small holes to see voids, be able to see if somebody's trapped underneath some rubble before we start attempting to go into them. So a lot of this equipment, you know, people wouldn't attribute to a normal fire department. Very expensive, very technical. Our guys do training every month. And again, we've got 15 people. We also participate with other departments in the region. Sykes and DPS, Kennett Fire Department way down in the Boot Hill, Poplar Bluff, as well as Jackson Fire Department here in the county.
Tell us a little bit about what folks that might be interested in learning a little bit more about emergency responsiveness and emergency preparedness, like with the CERT program, for instance. What can folks do with this?
Well, by all means, they can always go to our website and see when our next class is coming in. And for those who do want to get involved and learn more on how to protect themselves as well as the loved ones, the community emergency response training that is presented by the department is a great training program. Well over 16 to 20 hours of contact time, in which a person will learn everything from how to do minor first aid, triaging, as well as some, you know, if they had to actually rescue somebody. We teach them how to stay safe in those rescues, as well as be able to know when and when not to do those type of items. So our community emergency response training is there. You can always check our website, the City of Cape Girardeau's website, look for the fire department link, and you'll also find a link for the CERT training.
We've been talking today with Mark Hasheider. He's Cape Girardeau's Assistant Fire Chief and Emergency Management Coordinator. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.